When I was sick earlier, was it this month? I think it was earlier this month. When I was sick, in the middle of it, got this inspiration to do a video and send out a message to my good friends doing the training and anybody who comes across this video, just to say not to rush. And what happened was that I made this video and I was thinking, wow, it's so lovely. It was just completely flowing. I hadn't scripted it at all, just spoken from my heart as always, and shared messages with you all. And then at the end of it, it hadn't saved. When I came back to look for it, it was gone. And I was talking about this to a good friend recently, saying it was a good lesson to me because I was in the middle of just resting in bed, feeling terrible, feeling like death warmed up on a stick. And there I was getting inspiration and talking with this croaky voice. And then the video deleted anyway. I thought life was teaching me a good lesson not to rush myself, and that was the whole message of the video, was don't rush. Just relax in your life. Unless it's completely necessary, there's some sort of really critical emergency or crisis. Just with this training, it's one of the really beautiful trainings that creates a lot of happiness, is to slow down in life, to train ourselves to don't go so fast. Where are we trying to rush to get, is one of the things that I've said to a lot of good friends over the recent years, is where are we rushing to? Because there's only one place that we're all headed to, that we can all guarantee in in this life, which is the end of this life. So why are we in a rush to get a result? See, life is a process, and it reminds me of when I was studying science back at school. Uh, I remember learning about this atomic principle, subatomic principle, which, like, from memory, it was called the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, which was all about the fact that they'd observed scientifically the fact that you can't actually know where an electron is at a particular time, because through the act of observation, through shining a photon, a light, a ray of light at an electron, you've actually moved it. Like, the electron has actually moved from that position, from where you've originally observed it by the time you observe it. So it was an interesting fact to learn about in science, maybe around 20 years ago. This understanding, this truth that you can't actually know where the electron is. You know that there's a particle there, there's an electron, but you can't ever pin it down. It's always on a journey. You can't you can't you can't get this point pinned down in time. It's always moving. And then I think later, after that, I learned about um, how electrons and magnetic theory got merged when they came to understand about electromagnetic wave. So when they studied where the electron was at, and they kept shining photons and recording through little dots, bits of ink on a paper, they actually found that the electron, when they studied it over time, just the position that it was in, that it actually formed a wave um, when they kept shining light at it. So yeah, so that was really interesting science that I studied a long time ago, um, where they discovered that electromagnetic wave. So in science, there's this understanding, even when we boil our reality down to really simple constituents, really simple parts that create everything that we experience at the subatomic level. Um, we can't pin it down. We can't. we can't actually tell for sure where an electron is at any moment in time because it's already moved. So scientifically, there's this understanding that we're really on a journey together. There isn't a result, like a stable result in time, but there's a journey, there's a process, and we can grow these processes in our hearts, in our minds. And one of these big processes that I was trying to share with all you good people was just not to rush. We get so much training to rush, and we're rushing. Why are we rushing? Why are we moving so fast? I remember as a kid and even as a teenager and as a younger adult, before I really trained myself that well in this science, the science of the mind, I remember driving places or just being in the car with my